But joining us once again to try and answer that question is Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb. Dr. Loeb, great to have you back. Does this signal change anything for you? Like, did Halley's comet emit a radio signal?
Well, thanks for having me. The frequency at which the signal was detected corresponds to a certain molecule of oxygen and hydrogen. So the claim is that it could be natural, but obviously what is most interesting is whether there is transmission that cannot be explained by a natural source. And I'm waiting for those results. I encourage radio observers to look at this object, and they're doing it right now. So that's why it's very exciting. The other thing that happened is the object moved away from the sun by more than 30 degrees by now.
Right.
So observatories around the world are looking at it. And guess what? It still is one object. It didn't break up. And moreover, there is a glow extending towards the sun again, anti-tail, opposite to what you expect for comets, where the tail is being pushed away from the sun by the solar radiation pressure and the solar wind. Here we see it going towards the sun.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but and this got a lot of attention today, we asked Sean Duffy, the acting NASA administrator, also transportation secretary, the question that you have wanted to ask him for months. Take a look.
The experts at NASA have said this is a comet. It walks like a comet, talks like a comet, struts like a comet. It's a comet. And some people have said, listen, there's alien life on here, or that at one point they said it was going to hit the Earth. Not true. But it is a fascinating comet.
How do you respond to that, Dr. Loeb?
Oh, very simply, the foundation of science is the humility to learn, not the arrogance of expertise. You know, that it doesn't make sense to say the experts say, and therefore you should believe it. It makes sense to say, here is the evidence, and it's a comet beyond a reasonable doubt because of this and that pieces of evidence. However, there are all these anomalies about this object, and we still haven't figured out what it is. The good news, in the coming weeks, we can monitor those jets. There were 7 of them coming out of this object. They could be as a result of ice, pockets of ice evaporating by illumination by sunlight, or it could be thrusters. And the way to figure it out is to measure the speed of those. And I did a calculation that there isn't enough surface area to a natural comet to accommodate the amount of mass flowing through these jets. And so there is definitely a puzzle here to be resolved. It's not a matter of the experts saying what it is. They need to show how they explain these jets and how much mass these jets carry in them.
Dr. Loeb, I want to play one more part of my interview for you. So the shutdown is now over. And the 3I Atlas photos from that high-rise Mars rover camera still haven't been released tonight. So we asked him about that. Take a look at his response. They're publishing other images from this same high-rise camera on Mars every day. They did it yesterday. They did it today. Why isn't NASA releasing these images?
So again, with this comet, I think there's a little more complication in getting and processing the photos, where with the photos you referenced, it can be automated and you can get those pictures up and out right away. There's more man hours that are needed for the pictures from the comet. But I will tell you this, we are days away from NASA getting full staffed again, getting our workers back into the office and getting pictures out to the American people.
Okay, I want to get your reaction to that. Today's November 13th. If you go to uahighrise.org, they posted pictures from Mars today, but they can't post these 3I Atlas pictures from October 2nd. So bizarre. How do you respond to that?
Well, we had 45 days since the images were taken, and there are people involved in the high-rise camera that are not government employees. Some of them are, affiliated with the University of Arizona. They definitely had plenty of time.
But Dr. Loeb, do you believe the NASA administrator? Do you believe the NASA administrator? Do you believe what he just said to me?
I have no issue with him. He's basically repeating what people are telling him.
I don't either. I just want the truth.
Right. So I think we will hopefully see something coming out in the coming days, but it just shows you how sluggish is this system of bureaucracy. I don't necessarily think they are trying to do something, on purpose. It may be just bureaucracy taking over science.
I agree, and that seems like a whole lot of bureaucracy. Again, those photos taken October 2nd. It's November 13th. Dr. Avi Loeb, we will have you back. Good to see you again. Thank you.
you.